Hey everybody, and welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing the mid-year book freakout tag. So I know it's almost to the point where this is too late to do the mid-year book tag, but I'm just gonna do it because I can. I'm also going to be changing this to deal with shows that I've watched and songs that I've listened to. So check that out later. It's gonna be kind of crazy because I'm gonna upload probably a little more than I usually plan to because I want to get my mid-year freak out stuff all done by at least before it's too late to say it's not mid-year anymore. Anyway, let's get right into it. So number one is to talk about the best books that I've read so far in 2020. And I would have to say that the best books I've probably read, my favorites would be Serpent and Dove by Shelby Mahurin. I think that's how you say it. I'm not sure. I'm bad at pronunciation. I really liked Serpent and Dove a lot. I had to read it for school, kind of. It was for an activity. We have this thing called Book Bash where they give you a list of books. A lot of them are newer ones, and you just have to read it, and then you kind of just take a test and compete against people to see who gets the most answers right and is on a team. Sounds kind of geeky, but like it's cool. I'm cool. This book, Serpent and Dove, is about a witch named Lou, but she has to kind of hide her identity because people think witches are evil, and I mean a lot of the witches in this book are evil, but Lou ran away from her witch kind of family clan thing because they're trying to kill her, and she can't use magic because apparently magic has some sort of smell. So she gets into this predicament where she meets this witch hunter named Reed, and she kind of embarrasses him. And so the only way to kind of fix it in his reputation was to say that they were married, so it would be a little bit better, I guess. So when I think about it and I say all these things out loud, I understand why some people really don't like the book, but I personally just liked it. I'm kind of trash for romance, and that's pretty much it. Another book that I really liked, it was kind of short because it was actually for learning Spanish, was called Ataques de Hombre by Eric Herman. I love this book because it was pretty much just fairy tales. So it told a lot of different fairy tales like The Three Little Pigs, Jack and the Beanstalk, Goldilocks and the Three Bears, and I love fairy tales. And with each fairy tale, it would have three different versions. One would be the original version, then it would have a version from like someone else's point of view. Sometimes it was the villain or just like a different character. And then it would be what happened after that happily ever after. And I love fairy tales. Number two is the best sequel I've read so far in 2020, and I would have to say that would be Defiance by Shelley Crane. This is one of the many sequels in the Significance series, and I am biased because I love the Significance series. It is one of my favorite series, and a lot of people actually don't know the series, and I'm not that surprised. I actually told someone once that I'd be surprised if they did know it, and it's actually kind of sad though because I really love the series, and I would love it if more people knew about it. So the Significance series is pretty much about this couple. So there's this girl named Maggie, and she is fresh out of high school, just graduated. She's still young. She graduated early, and she's really smart, but she let her grades slip because stuff happened. Like her mom divorced her dad and ran away to California. Her dad's kind of in like, just like doesn't see anything, doesn't care, just sits there. And he even missed her graduation, and so she's just having a rough time. And to top it all off, her boyfriend dumped her because he was about to go to college, and he didn't know that she was already in this like state of like all this bad stuff's happening, and so it just didn't help. So Maggie was going to go to her friend Kyle's graduation party. Along the way, she meets this guy and saves him from walking into traffic, so pretty much saves his life. Later on, they're walking in the same direction, it turns out, because that guy, his name's Caleb, is actually Kyle's cousin. And when they shake hands to finally say goodbye, even though they both really don't want to, something happens. When they touch, they go through this process called imprinting, so they imprint with each other, and it's pretty much just a soulmate story. So they're soulmates and they're gonna be together, and I love soulmate stories and soulmate plots. I'm trash for romance like that because it's just like, it would just be so much easier if you knew you had a soulmate instead of having to go through so many trash guys. They're really cute and I really like the story, and it's pretty much just their journey because even though they are soulmates, they have a lot of other things to worry about. They have rival clans that are jealous because imprints have stopped. Caleb and Maggie are the first to imprint in a long time, and Maggie is a human on top of that, which they usually don't imprint with their kind. And after you imprint, you ascend, which means you get powers. And so they have to deal with the Watson clan, which is a really evil clan, and they want to destroy the Jacobson clan. So there is about 5 books in this series, I believe, and I'm almost finished with it. I am on the last one, and the last one is actually about their daughter, Ava, and I'm really enjoying that too. Number 3 is a new release that I haven't read yet, but I want to. And a book that came out that I haven't read yet, but I really want to, something that I'm really interested in, is I'll Be the One by Lila Lee. So I didn't read a lot about this book, but from my understanding of skimming the synopsis, it is about a wannabe K-pop star, and she wants to be a trainee, but she's going through a lot of hardship because she is plus size, and I feel like I could really relate to that, and I just really want to read more things about Korea because I'm Korean and I'm adopted, so I don't really know that much. So I've been wanting to read a lot of more Asian books just to diverse myself in my own culture. Number 4 is the most anticipated read for this next part of the year. The book I'm most anticipating for the next part of the year is Blood and Honey by Shelby Mahurin, and this is a sequel to Serpent and Dove, and I just like the series. I just like the first book. I hope I like the second one, and I'm really excited because they left off with a lot of things that could potentially be really cool. Like, well, I don't know if this is a spoiler, and honestly, I don't know how many things are actually spoilers that I ever will say. So I'm just gonna officially state it here and now that if you watch my videos, just don't expect anything to be spoiler free because I just talk. So anyway, the book left off in Serpent and Dove, where they find out that Reed is technically a witch, and that's a strange thing because usually boys aren't witches, they're just normal humans. And it's also strange because he is a witch hunter, so that might be a little tough on his sanity. And they're also running away from Lou's mom, who's trying to kill Lou and will try to kill all of them, because if her mom kills Lou, then she can kill off the king's line of like children and stop the line, and they can take over because magic in that world has a eye for an eye kind of thing. Number 5 is the biggest disappointment I've had this year, and my biggest disappointment in a book, and I'm not really disappointed in a lot of books. I don't get disappointed really. I just go into it and I either like it or I don't. So I'm just going to say my biggest disappointment would be Fountain of Silence by Ruta Septis. I don't know, I'm probably saying that really wrong, but you know. So that book, I don't know if I could say I'm disappointed because I went into it knowing that I might not like it because I don't like historical fiction that much. It's not my favorite thing, but my friend was like, oh, you have to read this book. It's great. It has romance, it has everything. She loved that book. And I mean, I should have known better though, because she loves Fountains of Silence. And I love serpent and dove. And we didn't do a vice versa there. The Fountain of Silence is about this boy that I can't remember his name and a girl. I can't remember her name. I think it's like Anna or something. I don't know. But she works in a hotel and he's staying at a hotel. His name might be Daniel or something. So who I'm going to call Daniel is staying at the hotel, and who I'm going to call Anna is the love interest, but they have all this stuff going on, and it's in like Spain, and then the war is going on or something, or dictatorship, and it's just, I don't remember a lot. And so he likes her and she likes him, but she can't risk her job because she needs to support her family, she needs to support herself. She can't fall for a rich boy like him who doesn't know their hardship. And then there's like a time skip towards the end, and also, here's the thing, the way they ended it though, it started picking up. I think I started liking it, and then the ending, it wasn't bad, but it wasn't finished. The ending was so like, it's not even like an open ending. It was like, here's another problem, and I'm not gonna do anything about it. Number 6 is my biggest surprise of this year. So my biggest surprise would probably be Strike Zone by Mike Lupica. This is a middle school kind of book, but I still had to read it for Book Bash. So this is a baseball book, and I am like the least sportiest person. Well, maybe I shouldn't say that. I don't know a lot about sports. I'll watch sports. I kind of have to because I'm in music, so I have to go to like football games for the music. I have to go to basketball for pep band and all that stuff. But don't think that I watch the game. I don't really know what's happening. Strike Zone is about baseball, and I would say that I'm just surprised just because I did like it a lot. I don't know if I should have been surprised because the last sports book that I read because of Book Bash was a golf book, and I really enjoyed that one too. Strike Zone wasn't just about sports though, it was also about immigration, because the boy main character, I don't remember his name, but the main character in this book was really young. He was always worried because the people in charge of immigration, he was always afraid that they would take his family away, and every once in a while they would come to his neighborhood and take people from his neighborhood away because they were undocumented, and so he was always scared. But he also had to focus on baseball, and it was just a good story. I just really like how it balanced sports and also just like other stuff, and that's pretty much all I have to say about that. I feel like you can really see how my memory works and how much it doesn't. Number 7 is a new favorite author. My new favorite author is probably Gabriel Weiner, and this is his book, Fluent Forever. It's the only book of his that I've read so far, and I liked the book. It was really helpful. It is a nonfiction book. This is just about his tips to learning a language or acquiring a language and remembering it, how to learn any language fast and never forget, which is what it says on the top. So I like Gabriel Weiner because I just think he's really funny, and I enjoy that even though this is nonfiction and it has a lot of facts and information that he had to research, he also puts in his own little tidbits and sarcasm and comments off to the side or like on the bottom, and I appreciate that a lot because it keeps things interesting and makes me stay awake. Number 8 is my newest fictional crush. I don't really have fictional crushes. I'm just like, I know pretty much almost every single book boy is probably better than the ones in real life. So I'm just like, yeah, they're all good. But I don't have someone that I'm like, this is my perfect guy. Actually, no. Okay, I totally lied. I do have that, but I didn't read a book from that series this year, I think. So my newest fictional crush, I guess I should say, is Caleb Jacobson from the Significance series. It's not technically new, but it's a book that I read this year. So Caleb Jacobson, I just like how nice he is to Maggie, and I just I'm a real sucker for those people who are just nice to you, who love you, and you know, I mean, it's not that uncommon that people like that. I mean, but he's just really nice and kind and loving, and he tutors kids, and he has a big heart, and he will do pretty much anything for Maggie, and I really love that. I'm such a sucker for when it's like they pine and care about you so much. Number 9 is my newest fictional character, and I would have to say that is Viola from the Last Magician series. I am excited for the 3rd book to come out. I think it's not out yet. I don't know. I'm excited, but also I don't know if I'll read it because I'm bad at keeping track of when things are coming out, and I'll probably like forget about it. So Viola is a really cool person. So in this book, in the Last Magician series, everyone kind of has a power. So Viola's is a healing power, but her family turned it into a destruction power. It has to do, I'm not exactly sure because the book doesn't go into depth with it so far, but it has to do something with the skin or like making people's blood boil or something, or like move. She can use it to heal, and she can also use it to destroy people. I think she can make their heart stop. I just feel like she is a really strong character, and I just really like her. And she's really good with her knives and swords, and she's just really cool. Number 10 is a book that made me cry, and I'll have to say that a book that made me tear up, because I don't really cry when it comes to books. So the book that made me tear up would be Goodbye Days by Jeff Sentner. And I did a review on this book. The audio really was bad though, so if you didn't watch it, I don't blame you. So this book is about a guy named Carver, and he sent a text to his friends who were in a car, and he was like, "Where are you guys?" And they ended up in a car crash, and they all passed away. The book deals with a lot of grief and a lot of guilt from Carver, and Carver is really scared that he's going to go to jail because he knew they were in the car, and he knew it was dangerous, and he texted the driver, and he is just really lost because he lost 3 of his best friends and pretty much his only friends. So I actually didn't love this book. I gave it 3.55 stars on Goodreads, which I rounded up to 4 stars on Goodreads. And there were times that I didn't like this book a lot. There were things in there, I won't get into them though. You can check out my review if you really want to know. But it did make me tear up because I said in my review video, and I'll say it here, that it really only takes one like hard-hitting, relatable moment to make you tear up. It doesn't have to be like a built-up thing. It can just be something that you're like, it just really connects with you. And that's what happened in this book. Number 11 is books that made me laugh, or books that made me happy, because I don't really remember if I laugh at things. I know I laughed at Goodbye Days because some of the things I said were really dumb. A book that made me really happy, I think, would be this book. Is a BTS The Ultimate Fan book by Malcolm Croft, and this book just makes me happy because I am an ARMY. I really do love BTS a lot, and there's a lot of pictures, there's information. It's not the ultimate fan book because, I mean, look how short it is. It can't be the ultimate fan book. But there's a lot of pictures, and it's really fun to just look at, and I just love owning it. I saw it in Barnes & Noble. I was like, yep, I'm gonna buy it. And I was on a school kind of field trip thing, so I was like, hey, make sure the bus doesn't leave without me. I'm gonna go wait in line. 12 is the most beautiful book that I bought this year, and I'm pretty sure that means book cover, and so I'll just say that My Absolute Darling by Gabriel Talent. I haven't read this book, I just bought it. The library was putting books out on a cart, and it was outside, and it was like a donation thing, so you could donate like $1 or $2 and get a book and just take it, and it's kind of shiny right now. When I read the synopsis, I'm not positive, I can't remember exactly what it was about. I think it's about this girl who's so used to living in the jungle, and she has to deal with like humans now and go to school and like first crushes, and I was like, wow, this sounds like the new Dora the Explorer movie, so that's what I'm gonna call it in my head. I hope I like this book, but I mostly, it just looks cool. I think it's a cool cover. The last question is number 13, which is books that I need to read by the end of the year. I'm going to say Somewhere Only We Know by Marine Gu. So I thought I lost this book, and then I finally found it, so I just really want to read it. It is a romance story. I know it is about this girl who is like a K-pop star or something, and she meets this guy, and that's pretty much all I know. I think it's like romance, but probably it's where they only have a certain amount of time, and then it's like, I don't know what's gonna happen next because you're a star and then I'm just me, and one of those kind of stories. And I just really want to read it. I need more Asian representation in my life. So I'm excited. I don't know when I'm going to start it. I'm probably going to start it after I'm finished with my Significance series, and I really hope I like it because I want to read more of her stuff. Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you liked it, tell me down in the comments. If there's anything you liked, anything you didn't like, just tell me everything. You can even just tell me how your day was. I'm getting better at this outro thing, I think. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video, and like I say, I'm going to say that twice, forever and always, and I'll see y'all in the next video. Bye.